on Environmental and Nuclear Policy at UC Santa Cruz. Does this agreement assure that Boeing will do a full cleanup of its part of the field lab?
Yeah, Michael Bucket, yeah, Michael Bucket, yeah, Michael Bucket, yeah, Michael Buck, 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 yeah. Praise God, 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 praise God.
Vast majority of the contamination in place. Hirsch says in the fine print of the 850-page agreement, the numbers show that the state is allowing Boeing to clean up far less contamination than in this 2007 agreement that Boeing signed but was never executed.
This cleanup agreement lets Boeing tremendously off the hook. It allows them to leave 100 times higher levels of contaminants than under the current requirements. In the end, 98% or so of the contamination in Santa Santa will never get cleaned up if this goes through.
The state says the formula for its new cleanup agreement is based on current science.
This agreement will allow residents to feel confident that their kids can play in their yards safely. They make it sound like they're helping us and protecting our children, and they're doing the opposite. I mean, I'm so angry, I'm shaking.
In a statement to the I-Team, Boeing said, today's agreement provides a clear, accelerated path forward for the cleanup and calls it a win for California. The state will hold a public meeting on the Santa Susana cleanup agreement in early June, and parents like Melissa Bumstead say they will be there in force.
You can see how this is going to hurt our children. We're not going to allow it.
For the I-Team, I'm Joel Grover.
Well, after a few weeks of relief, gas prices are climbing again here and across the country. Nationwide, the average price for a gallon of gas is just over $4. Here in Southern California, though, it is much higher. The average price across all 5 counties is once again nearing $6 a gallon.
It's a nightmare. It's terrible because it's having an effect on everything. My groceries,
It's quite a bit more. I mean, everything's quite a bit more. The prices at the grocery store are more, the prices everywhere. And experts say when the European Union announced last week it might ban Russian oil imports, the price of crude oil shot up. AAA says there's also greater demand for gas ahead of summer travel. And here's a quick check for you of the last year across our area in LA. The average 1 year ago, $4.11 a gallon. The price the day before Russia's invasion of Ukraine, $4.72, and it's now more than $1 since then to $5.85. A similar story for Riverside County, the average is slightly more than $4 last year. It's now $5.76 a gallon. And in Orange County, the price was $4.09 a gallon last May 9th, and now the average $5.84. That's $1.75 higher compared to this date last year. That puts it all into perspective there. Some big plans are in the works for the LA waterfront in San Pedro. Work is set to begin in the West Harbor in the next 2 months. Now, the first phase of this project will include restaurants and a brewery, but the main attraction, that will be an amphitheater that seats more than 6,000 people. Reaction has been mixed, but the developer says he's all ears.
We want to hear the community. It's going to be an opportunity for San Pedro to be really put on the map. Residents of this community have a right to enjoy peace and quiet.
They hope to have the first phase finished by next year and the entire project by 2024. Taking you outside right now, a live look across the San Fernando Valley, and meteorologist Melissa McGee here on this rather brisk night, but a warm up on the way. Melissa?
Yeah, that's right, Carolyn. Right now we've got temperatures in the 40s and 50s, so we're certainly cooling down. That will be changing as we get into Thursday, Friday, especially over the weekend. Here's a picture outside. We are looking at LAX. The pylons lit up in a pretty blue color. We'll talk about what we can expect as we look at the weather headlines. That onshore flow does continue tomorrow, so still staying cooler than average on Tuesday. The winds will be increasing as we get into the middle half of this work week. We'll get into the reason why, but then we're cranking up the heat as we get into Friday, and especially over the weekend, 90s, triple digits. Certainly not out of the question in some spots. We'll talk about these numbers. It's 48 in Thousand Oaks, 50 in Santa Clarita. We've got 55 for downtown. Over in San Bernardino, holding at 55, and Victorville currently in at 46 degrees. So here's what's going on, why that cooler air is across our region. Satellite and radar showing you there's an area of low pressure out across areas of Oregon and even northern California. A lot of snow mountains here, we're tapping into a counterclockwise rotation. So that west to northwesterly wind brings in an onshore flow coming in straight off of the ocean, straight off of the Pacific, and that's why temperatures are cooler than average. So that will be the case even as we get into our Tuesday. Highs pretty similar to what we had today across the region. Santa Clarita, 68 tomorrow, Thousand Oaks, and at 65, 70 in Anaheim, 71 for Riverside, as well as West Covina. It will be pretty breezy, though, for a lot of spots, even as we get into our Tuesday afternoon. Fast forward into Wednesday, we've got a trough of low pressure moving on through, so this will deepen across our region, and it will also kick up those winds. So Futurecast wind gusts showing you as we get into Wednesday across the region, not just for the mountains and deserts, even for the basin and coastal communities, we will have an issue with those winds. Trough moves on out, high pressure takes over as we get into Friday and into the weekend, and after that, temperatures off to the races. Here's your forecast for the basin, Illinois, Orange County, and the coast. The upper 60s for the basin and the coast the next 2 days. Then temperatures really rebound as we get into Friday, and over the weekend, we are in the 80s. 72 degrees tomorrow for the valley, 71 for the Inland Empire, tracking those winds that move in as we get into Wednesday. Then the 80s for the end of the work week, the 90s on the way as we head into our weekend. 66 degrees tomorrow for the high desert,
Alright,
for the low desert. Triple-digit heat
move
returns,
forward at
though,
this one
Friday
first,
and even
okay?
into early next week for the low desert. And for the mountains, it's comfortable tomorrow, 51, 49, cool on Wednesday, then temperatures in the 60s and the 70s as we head into our weekend. That's your forecast. Here's Fred with sports.
Hey, Melissa, thank you. Now, answer this. Is this right? The team with the most wins in baseball? Not the Dodgers. Who is it? And the award for Best Fan goes to that man. I'll show you what made that cowboy go crazy.
Watching the live stream of NBC4 News on NBCLA.com. We'll be right back. Imagine a day where wrongs are made right, corruption is crushed, and consumer problems are wiped out.
Thanks to NBC4's I-Team, we have our neighborhood back.
That day is now, because the biggest I-Team in town has one mission: justice. 4 friendly faces bad guys don't want to face. Getting